Urgent, Austin Reaves refuses contract extension with Lakers. Stay until the end to find out everything. But first, leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news about the Lakers. At the start of this week, shooting guard Austin Reaves made headlines by respectfully declining a contract extension offered by the Los Angeles Lakers, as reported by NBA analyst Dan Woik of The Athletic. The Lakers presented him with the maximum deal permissible under current NBA rules, a 4-year package worth approximately $89.2 million. According to insider sources, Reaves' decision was not driven by any friction with the franchise but by a calculated evaluation of his future opportunities. The Lakers were restricted by cap limitations and could not stretch beyond this specific figure at present. Regardless, those within the organization emphasized that Reaves remains a vital asset, and there is no intention to offload him, at least not yet. As Woik detailed, this choice didn't signal a breakdown in mutual respect. Rather, it reflected the Lakers' inability to offer more under the current financial framework. The team has been clear. They see Reaves as integral to their long-term vision. At 27 years old, Reaves finds himself at a pivotal juncture. More than 1 year remains on his contract, and his bird rights ensure he could negotiate a significantly more lucrative deal next summer. If he stays in Los Angeles, he could potentially secure a staggering $246.7 million over 5 years. Alternatively, becoming an unrestricted free agent could lead to a 4-year, $182.9 million contract with another franchise. Currently, Reaves is guaranteed $13.9 million during the 2025-26 season and holds a player option worth $14.9 million for 2026-27. If he declines that option, he will be free to explore unrestricted free agency, opening the door to the highest bidder across the NBA. Yet loyalty remains a prominent theme in his story. Publicly, Reaves has reiterated his commitment to Los Angeles. "I want to spend my entire career with the Lakers. I love everything about LA, the fans, the atmosphere, the weather, even the golf. The Lakers are the NBA's flagship franchise." This declaration has resonated deeply with the fan base, especially at a time when trade chatter has intensified. Their first-round playoff elimination exposed significant roster weaknesses, most notably a lack of size at center. With limited valuable assets to offer other teams, Reaves could represent the Lakers' biggest bargaining chip in trade talks. Veteran commentator Bill Simmons weighed in, fueling speculation. On the Ringer podcast, Simmons predicted the Lakers would ultimately trade Reaves. He argued Reaves is the only current asset capable of fetching a legitimate starting-level big man. When Reaves gets traded this offseason, and he will, the return they get will make the Mavericks look like they missed the mark by not getting him in the initial Doncic discussions, Simmons asserted. While the Lakers' offer may have seemed generous on the surface, Austin Reaves had a broader vision in mind, one that extended beyond immediate gain. Choosing not to commit to the $89.2 million extension wasn't about dissatisfaction, but about timing, leverage, and the potential of a far greater deal in the near future. Reaves and his representatives knew that by holding off, he could secure a contract worth nearly 3 times the value of the current offer if he re-signs with the Lakers next offseason. That possibility, a 5-year deal in the range of $246.7 million, makes patience not only sensible but strategic. This type of maneuvering is common among elite players looking to maximize their value in a cap-structured league. For Reaves, who entered the NBA undrafted and had to prove himself every step of the way, this is more than financial, it's symbolic. It shows that he's earned the right to negotiate from a position of power, not scarcity. Despite trade rumors and the ever-present noise surrounding the Lakers, Reaves remained calm and focused. The idea of being used as trade bait didn't rattle him. If anything, it reaffirmed his status as a high-value player in the modern NBA landscape. "I've always believed in betting on myself," Reaves said in a recent interview. "From the very start, nothing came easy. I've had to work for every minute on the court, every contract, every shot. So I'm not in a rush now. I know what I bring." His performance backs it up. In the 2024-25 season, Reaves posted career-best numbers: 20.2 points, 5.8 assists and 4.5 rebounds per game. He also continued to improve from beyond the arc, knocking down nearly 38% of his three-point attempts. His all-around contributions on both ends of the floor made him a reliable and essential piece in J.J. Redick's system. Inside the organization, opinions were divided. Some executives saw him as irreplaceable, a glue guy who could evolve into an all-star if given more offensive freedom. Others saw an opportunity. Reaves' value around the league was peaking, and packaging him in a deal could be the only realistic way to address glaring weaknesses in the Lakers roster. Meanwhile, teams around the league were paying attention. Reaves' development had not gone unnoticed. Scouts from multiple franchises noted his basketball IQ, efficient shooting, and surprising defensive versatility. While not a household superstar, he had carved out a reputation as a winning player, someone who raises the floor of any team he joins. Behind closed doors, conversations had already begun. While Reaves' preference was to remain in Los Angeles, his camp understood that basketball is ultimately a business. If the right deal came along, neither he nor the Lakers could ignore it. But until that moment arrived, Reaves focused on what he could control: his preparation, his leadership, and his role on the court. Whether it was in a Lakers jersey or somewhere else, he was determined to let his game speak louder than any rumor ever could. As whispers about a possible trade swirled through media channels and NBA front offices, Austin Reaves maintained his composure. Unlike many players who let speculation seep into their performance, Reaves had developed an internal calm, honed by years of being overlooked, doubted, and underestimated. He'd been through more uncertain moments than most. From being passed over in the NBA draft to earning his place in a storied Lakers franchise, Reaves was used to noise. But this time it was different. The stakes were higher, the spotlight brighter, and his name was being mentioned not as a fill-in, but as a key piece of a potential blockbuster deal. Privately, Reaves knew that the Lakers' front office was under immense pressure. Their early exit in the playoffs had ignited frustration across the fan base. The franchise, long accustomed to championship aspirations, couldn't afford another mediocre year. And with very few tradable assets available, Reaves had become their most valuable currency. He wasn't surprised to hear his name being floated in deals for star-level centers, an area where the Lakers had clearly struggled. Despite that, there was no sign of resentment. He had always treated basketball like a business. Loyalty was emotional, trades were logistical. Still, Reaves hoped it wouldn't come to that. His bond with Los Angeles ran deeper than basketball. He had spent his formative NBA years there, growing both as a player and as a person. He'd built relationships with teammates, staff, fans, and the city itself. The idea of leaving behind that foundation wasn't something he welcomed, even if it was part of the job. Off the court, Reaves tried to silence the chaos. He poured himself into daily routines. Extra hours in the gym, long film sessions, quiet dinners with close friends. The discipline helped him stay grounded. J.J. Redick, the newly installed Lakers head coach, praised Reaves for his mental fortitude. "He's one of the most professional guys I've ever coached," Redick said during a press conference. "You wouldn't know there were rumors flying around. He shows up, works hard, and leads by example. That kind of steadiness is rare." Redick's words echoed the sentiment felt in the locker room. Teammates admired Reaves not just for his skills but for his consistency and leadership. Even in the face of constant speculation, he remained a unifier, a voice of calm when the team most needed it. Behind the scenes, Reaves' agent fielded calls from general managers across the league. Some teams were probing, testing the Lakers' resolve. Others were more serious, willing to construct entire trade packages around the 27-year-old guard. The front office in Los Angeles, however, was torn. They understood Reaves' value but couldn't ignore the team's needs. A reliable big man could make all the difference. And while no deal had materialized yet, the phones weren't silent. Reaves knew he couldn't control where he might end up, but he could control how he played, how he trained, and how he carried himself. As trade talks intensified, he told himself the same thing he'd believed since day one: let the game do the talking. And it did. Night after night, he continued to deliver, draining clutch shots, setting up teammates, guarding bigger players when needed. His performance wasn't just a resume for the Lakers. it was a message to the entire league. Wherever he went next, Austin Reaves would be ready. Trade season in the NBA can feel like a chess match, filled with strategy, bluffing, and sudden game-changing moves. Austin Reaves found himself right in the middle of that board, whether he liked it or not. Though publicly the Lakers continued to praise his value, behind closed doors, executives debated the potential of moving him to strengthen the team elsewhere. Their biggest weakness was in the paint. The lack of a dominant center had cost them dearly in the playoffs, and every credible trade scenario seemed to begin with the same name, Reaves. Some inside the organization hesitated. Trading away a rising star who had become a fan favorite and leader in the locker room could have long-term consequences. But others saw it as a necessary sacrifice. If they wanted to compete with the league's elite, changes had to be made. Sentiment couldn't outweigh strategy. Meanwhile, Reaves' camp remained silent publicly, but they were paying close attention. They understood that while Reaves had given everything to the Lakers, the NBA was a business first. If a deal made sense financially or competitively, loyalty would be secondary. Still, it was a difficult pill to swallow. Reaves had done everything right. He had outperformed his initial contract, stayed healthy, elevated his game, and become a symbol of effort and growth. To be seen as expendable, even as part of a valuable package, was a harsh reminder of how quickly fortunes could shift in professional sports. During a quiet moment in the training facility, Reaves confided in an assistant coach he trusted. "Sometimes it feels like no matter how much you give, you're just a piece on the board," he said. The coach nodded, responding softly, "You are. But you're a damn valuable one." As offers started to roll in, the Lakers weighed each scenario with caution. Some teams dangled all-star caliber bigs. Others were offering depth and draft picks. One particular offer included a proven rim protector and future picks. But it would mean not just losing Reaves, but also restructuring the entire backcourt. JJ Redick was reportedly part of every conversation. Though he had grown close to Reaves and admired his presence on the floor, he also recognized the importance of getting the roster balance right. The team couldn't afford another year of falling short. Fans on social media were divided. Some pleaded with the Lakers to keep Reaves at all costs, citing his chemistry with the team and passion on the court. Others were more pragmatic, arguing that the window for a title was closing and hard decisions were necessary. Reaves, for his part, stayed the course. He didn't tweet cryptic messages. He didn't ask for clarity. He showed up, kept training, and stayed professional. That was his way, no drama, no distractions. But every night after practice, after the lights dimmed in the facility, the thought crept in. Would tomorrow bring a call that changed everything? The uncertainty was exhausting, but it was also empowering. Reaves knew one thing above all. Whatever happened, he was no longer the rookie trying to earn a roster spot. He had become a player teams wanted. A player other franchises needed. He wasn't just another name in trade rumors. He was a legitimate NBA asset. And whether he stayed in Los Angeles or moved on to a new city, he was ready to embrace whatever the next chapter would hold. The business of basketball was never personal. But for Reaves, every decision, every game, every hour in the gym, it was deeply personal. Statistically, Austin Reaves was having the best season of his career. But what made his impact undeniable wasn't just the box score, it was the intangible presence he brought to every game. Whether starting at the 2, sliding into a playmaking role, or guarding the opposing team's top perimeter threat, Reaves showed up when it mattered most. By mid-season, he was averaging over 20 points per game, nearly 6 assists, and contributing on the boards. His shooting percentages remained efficient, especially from deep, where he hovered around the 38% mark. But those numbers only told part of the story. When the Lakers struggled to find rhythm, Reaves was often the stabilizing force. His decision-making, off-ball movement, and timing in the pick-and-roll gave the offense a dimension it sorely lacked. While stars grabbed headlines, Reaves did the work that held the team together. "He's like the connective tissue of this group," Coach Redick told reporters after a late January win. "He fills the gaps, makes the extra pass, steps into the big shot. He just understands the game on a deeper level." That basketball IQ didn't come from nowhere. Reaves had grown up around the game. His parents were both former players, and he'd spent his entire life dissecting film, playing pickup against older competition, and studying the greats. It was a lifetime of work that translated into anticipation, control, and trust on the court. Teammates respected him not just for his skill but for his attitude. He didn't command attention with flashy dunks or viral moments. He earned it through consistency, hustle, and a refusal to be rattled under pressure. In a February matchup against a top-seeded Western Conference team, Reaves scored 28 points, dished out 9 assists, and hit 2 game-sealing threes in the fourth quarter. It was a signature performance that highlighted everything he brought to the table: poise, versatility, and cold-blooded execution. After the game, reporters asked him if he felt like a star. He smiled, shook his head, and said, "I just try to make the right play." Still, the buzz was growing. Analysts across the league began talking about him not just as a solid starter, but as a potential all-star candidate. His name appeared in advanced stats leaderboards and film breakdowns across NBA media. In a league saturated with highlight culture, Reaves was being praised for the subtle excellence he displayed night after night. And with that attention came more leverage. Other franchises watching from afar took note. Reaves wasn't just a plug-in role player, he was a system guy. A player you could build around or at least entrust with major responsibilities. Front offices looking for leadership, maturity, and high IQ basketball saw him as an ideal target. Behind the scenes, his representation began preparing for both outcomes: a future extension with the Lakers or a bold new opportunity elsewhere. Either way, they knew the market for Reaves was only heating up. And yet, amid all the speculation, Reaves remained grounded. He kept a tight circle, focused on recovery, rest, and repetition. He avoided distractions and trusted his game. "I'm just trying to keep stacking good days," he said in one interview. "That's all I've ever done." In the increasingly dramatic world of NBA storylines, Austin Reaves was writing his own, quietly, effectively, and powerfully. For many NBA players, staying with a single franchise throughout their career is rare, almost mythic. But for Austin Reaves, that dream wasn't just fantasy. It was something he deeply believed in. His bond with the Los Angeles Lakers ran beyond contracts, beyond stats. It was personal. From the moment he put on the purple and gold, he embraced the weight of its history. This wasn't just another team, it was a legacy built by names like Magic, Kobe, Kareem, and LeBron. Reaves wasn't trying to be them, but he wanted to be part of that lineage. In interviews, he often expressed his love for the city. "LA feels like home," he said. "The fans, the atmosphere, the expectation. It motivates you to be better every single day." It wasn't just talk. Reaves had become a staple in the community. He participated in youth camps, charity events, and was often seen courtside at WNBA games or LAFC matches, supporting other local athletes. That presence off the court endeared him to fans, building a connection that felt authentic, rare in a league driven by constant movement. But the reality was creeping in. Loyalty and business rarely moved in sync. As summer approached, Reaves knew he was heading toward a pivotal decision. On one side, the Lakers could offer him a supermax extension in the offseason, a 5-year deal that could reach $246.7 million. On the other franchises were preparing offers just slightly below that, with the promise of a bigger role, a new challenge, or a fresh start. The pull was real. Could he really turn down the money if another team offered 4 years and $180+ million with guaranteed leadership status? Could he pass up a chance to be the guy somewhere else, rather than just a key piece in a system focused on aging superstars? And yet, walking away from LA would mean walking away from more than just a city. It would mean leaving behind relationships built over years. Coaches who believed in him, teammates who trusted him, fans who chanted his name when he caught fire. The Lakers, for their part, still saw Reaves as a cornerstone. While rumors persisted and trade talks flickered in and out of the headlines, internally the organization made it clear they wanted him long-term. J.J. Redick, in private meetings, had even outlined offensive schemes centered around Reaves' evolving role. "You've earned the right to be more than a third option," Redick reportedly told him. "You're not just here to support. You're here to lead." Still, questions lingered. Would the Lakers follow through? Would they structure the roster around younger talent like Reaves? Or would they continue chasing quick fixes around aging stars, risking the future for the present? Reaves didn't have all the answers yet. But what he did have was perspective. He had come from humble beginnings, no top draft selection, no early fame. He had worked for every minute, every dollar, every headline. And now he stood at a rare crossroad: stay loyal and become a franchise pillar, or chase legacy elsewhere on his own terms. He wasn't rushing the choice. The season still had months left. The playoffs still loomed. And no matter what the future held, Reaves intended to give LA everything he had until the final whistle. Because loyalty wasn't just about a contract. It was about how you showed up every day. As the regular season wound down, the stakes rose. Every possession, every decision, every rotation started to carry playoff weight. For Austin Reaves, this was the environment where he thrived. The pressure cooker moments that revealed not just skill but character. The Lakers, having secured a spot in the postseason, faced the kind of scrutiny only a marquee franchise like theirs could attract. Pundits questioned their depth. Fans worried about health and consistency. And analysts fixated on one key piece of the puzzle: Austin Reaves. Could he be the difference maker in a deep playoff run? He had proven his worth during the previous playoffs, stepping up when others faltered. He was fearless in big moments, willing to take the crucial shot or make the unselfish pass. This season, however, expectations were even higher. Reaves didn't back down from the spotlight. In the first round, facing a physical, defensive-minded opponent, he elevated his game. He averaged over 22 points across the series, added 6 assists per contest, and played lockdown perimeter defense, often guarding the opposition's primary scorer. His performance didn't go unnoticed. National media outlets began calling him one of the league's most underrated playoff performers. Social media buzzed with highlights of his footwork, his clutch threes, and his fearless drives into the paint. But basketball is a team sport, and despite Reaves' efforts, cracks in the Lakers' foundation began to show. Their lack of size in the front court, inconsistencies off the bench, and a tiring core made every game a grind. By Game 6, the team was on the brink of elimination. That night, in front of a roaring home crowd at Crypto.com Arena, Reaves delivered one of his finest performances. He poured in 31 points, including 5 three-pointers, and added 8 assists with just 1 turnover. His energy was relentless. He dove for loose balls, took charges, and willed the Lakers to a narrow win to force Game 7. It was a classic moment, one that would have defined many players' careers. But in Game 7, reality struck. Despite Reaves' 25-point effort, the Lakers fell short. The team's structural issues resurfaced, and the opposing center dominated inside. As the final buzzer sounded and the crowd fell silent, the season was over. The locker room was quiet. Players packed their belongings slowly. Some exchanged jerseys. Others sat in silence. Reaves stayed seated at his locker for nearly 30 minutes, his jersey still on, staring down at the floor. The media swarmed in and reporters asked him what this loss meant. Reaves answered with the poise of a veteran. "We gave everything we had. That's all you can ask. I'm proud of this group. I'm proud of what we fought through. I'll remember that more than the result." In the days that followed, speculation exploded. Would the Lakers finally make the big trade? Would Reaves be moved? Was this the end of an era, or the start of a rebuild? And for Reaves, the questions became more personal. Was it time to move on? Or double down on the dream? The off-season came fast, and with it, a storm of rumors that seemed impossible to escape. Austin Reaves, once just a promising young guard, had now become the centerpiece of every trade scenario on sports radio, podcasts, and social media. Some headlines speculated he'd be sent to a rebuilding team in exchange for a dominant center. Others suggested he'd be the bait in a package deal for a third superstar. And then there were the wild takes, 3-team trades, overseas stints, even retirements, which Reaves laughed off immediately. What was clear? Everyone wanted a piece of him. But no one actually knew what he wanted. Internally, the Lakers had split opinions. The front office was weighing short-term competitiveness against long-term sustainability. J.J. Redick, who had developed a strong relationship with Reaves, fought hard to keep him, pushing for a lineup built around his versatility. "He's not just a guard," Redick reportedly said in a staff meeting. "He's our identity moving forward." But the team's lack of draft capital and trade flexibility made things difficult. Without many other assets to move, Reaves was their most attractive chip. And other teams knew it. Behind closed doors, franchises were crafting serious offers. One team proposed a deal that would net the Lakers a starting caliber center and multiple first-round picks. Another offered a rising star forward and cap relief. The offers weren't absurd, they made business sense. But emotionally it was a different story. Reaves, for his part, kept quiet publicly. But in his inner circle, the pressure was mounting. His agent fielded daily calls, his phone buzzed non-stop, and his family constantly asked, "Have you decided yet?" But what could he decide? Nothing had been finalized. It was all speculation, until it wasn't. Then came the report from NBA insider Bill Simmons, who claimed on his podcast that Reaves would definitely be traded. "It's not a matter of if, it's when," Simmons said. "He's their only asset who can return something meaningful. You don't get a big man unless you give up something real." That quote went viral. Overnight, Reaves' name trended on every sports platform. Clips from his best games were repackaged as farewell highlights. Fans flooded comment sections begging the team to reconsider. Some cursed the front office. Others wished him well, assuming he was as good as gone. The noise was deafening. Reaves saw the headlines. He read the tweets. And for the first time since entering the league, he felt the weight of being truly valuable. Not just to his team but to the entire league. And with that value came uncertainty, pressure, and a hint of betrayal. "I understand the business," he told a close friend one night. "But it still hurts. I gave everything. Now I'm just a name in a package?" Still, he wasn't angry, just conflicted. He loved the Lakers. He loved LA. He loved the fans. But he also wanted to be somewhere he was wanted fully. Not as leverage, not as trade currency, but as a core piece. The coming weeks would reveal everything. Front offices would meet. Phones would ring. Contracts would be restructured and decisions would be made. And through it all, Reaves waited, silent, composed, and ready for whatever came next. Austin Reaves had always relied on instinct. It guided him through college, through going undrafted, through summer league scrambles and two-way deals. It helped him navigate the egos, the expectations, the critics. But now, as his future hung in the balance, instinct wasn't enough. He needed clarity. For the first time in years, Reaves stepped away from the game. No gym, no trainers, no agents. Just a few days to himself. He left Los Angeles for his hometown in Arkansas, where the pressure of stardom gave way to quiet mornings, fishing trips, and drives through the countryside. There, surrounded by family and familiar voices, he finally had space to breathe. "Sometimes you need to remember where you came from to figure out where you're going," he told his brother during a long walk down a gravel road. Back in LA, phones were still ringing. Front offices debated offers. Fans speculated about who would replace whom. But Reaves focused inward. He wasn't avoiding the decision. He was preparing for it. He made a list, literally, scribbled on a torn page from a notepad. Reasons to stay. Loyalty to the team that believed in me first. Deep connection with the city and fans. A chance to build something meaningful in purple and gold. Continuity. Trust. Legacy. Reasons to leave. A larger role elsewhere. Financial flexibility from other franchises. Opportunity to lead a younger, evolving roster. Freedom from trade rumors and future uncertainty. Both lists were honest. Neither felt complete. Because no matter where he ended up, something would be left behind. The truth was, Reaves had become more than just a player in Los Angeles. He was a symbol of the team's recent shift. Development over flash, grit over gimmicks. Fans loved him not because he dunked over defenders, but because he fought for every inch. He represented possibility in a franchise often obsessed with perfection. But the NBA didn't deal in sentiment. It was a business. And Reaves was a businessman now too. One night, back home, he got a call from Coach Redick. It wasn't about numbers or strategy. It was just two basketball minds talking. "I know it's hard," Redick said. "And I can't promise the noise will stop. But I can promise this, we want you here. Not just for what you do, but for who you are." That stuck with him. So did a conversation with his father, who'd coached him through high school. "Austin," he said, "you've already won. You made it when no one thought you would. Whatever comes next, it's yours to own." Those words gave him strength. And so, as July approached and teams began finalizing rosters, Reaves returned to Los Angeles. Not for meetings, not for media. Just to feel it again. The energy. The weight of the jersey. The walk into the empty arena. He stood at center court, closed his eyes, and let the silence speak. He was ready to decide. It all came down to a single moment. After months of speculation, trade rumors, and emotional reflection, Austin Reaves walked into the Lakers training facility, not as a man unsure of his path, but as someone ready to define it. He met with General Manager Rob Pelinka and Coach J.J. Redick behind closed doors. No agents, no executives, just a conversation between people who had invested in one another. "I've thought a lot about this," Reaves began. "I know what's out there. I know what other teams are offering. But I also know what I've built here. I know who I am here." Redick listened quietly, arms crossed. Pelinka nodded. "I want to stay," Reaves said. The room fell silent for a beat. "Then we'll make it happen," Pelinka replied. And with that, the tone shifted from uncertainty to resolve. The Lakers would offer him the max extension they were capable of in the coming offseason, $246.7 million across 5 years. It wasn't about the money though. It was about ownership. Reaves would be a face of the franchise going forward. A centerpiece, not a complementary piece. A leader, not a luxury. The front office promised to build smarter. Redick laid out a retooled offensive vision that prioritized Reaves' skill set. His playmaking, his creativity in space, his IQ under pressure. They discussed a modern backcourt rotation, veteran leadership on the bench, and a push for a more balanced roster. This wasn't just talk. It was a plan. Word got out within hours. Social media lit up. Austin Reaves commits to Lakers long-term. Fans erupted. Jersey sales spiked. Players texted their congratulations. Even rivals tipped their hats, knowing that keeping a talent like Reaves wasn't just a good move, it was a statement. And for Reaves, the relief was immediate. He returned to the gym the next day. No cameras, no press. Just him, a shooting coach, and hours of sweat. Because for all the attention around his contract, none of that changed who he was at his core. A competitor. A worker. A guy who never forgot what it felt like to be overlooked. Summer passed quickly. The Lakers, now recentered around youth and continuity, entered training camp with renewed energy. LeBron James, entering the twilight of his career, publicly praised Reaves. "He's got the keys now." And he earned them. Media Day was a celebration. Reaves took the stage in his fresh number 15 jersey, the ink on his new contract still drying. Reporters asked about the pressure, about legacy, about whether he felt any regrets. "No regrets," he answered. "Only gratitude. I've been on a crazy ride, but I never lost sight of what mattered. Getting better, being present, and representing this franchise the right way. This is where I want to build my legacy." As the new season tipped off, the roar inside Crypto.com arena was louder than ever. Reaves jogged onto the court, tapped his heart, and pointed to the sky. Then the ball went up and the work began again. Because for Austin Reaves, the story was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. With the new season underway, Austin Reaves embraced his role as a true leader on the Los Angeles Lakers. No longer just a promising young talent or a complimentary piece, he was now recognized as a foundational player, one the franchise could build around for years to come. His approach to the game evolved. Reaves worked tirelessly not only on his scoring and playmaking but also on mentoring younger teammates. He became a bridge between the veteran stars and the new generation, fostering a culture of accountability, hard work, and unity. The team responded. Practices were more focused, communication on the court sharpened, and a sense of purpose permeated the locker room. Fans noticed the difference too, filling arenas with renewed enthusiasm, chanting his name and rallying behind the Lakers' new direction. Statistically, Reaves continued to elevate his game. He increased his averages in points, assists, and rebounds, while improving his efficiency from beyond the arc. But more importantly, he made those around him better, setting screens, making the right passes, and playing smart defense. The media dubbed him the heart of the Lakers, a fitting tribute to his grit and determination. Yet Reaves remained humble. "It's about the team," he often said. "Individual stats don't win championships. We win as a unit." Off the court, he expanded his involvement in the Los Angeles community. He spearheaded youth basketball camps, partnered with local charities, and became a vocal advocate for mental health awareness. His influence grew beyond basketball, inspiring countless fans and young athletes. The Lakers, buoyed by their improved roster and chemistry, made a deep playoff run, rekindling hopes of another championship. In those high-stakes moments, Reaves shined brightest, showcasing clutch performances, steady leadership, and an unwavering competitive spirit. Though challenges arose, injuries, tough losses, and the ever-present pressure of the NBA spotlight, Reaves faced them head-on, his resolve only strengthening. Looking back, the decision to remain with the Lakers proved pivotal. It wasn't just about the contract or the city, it was about legacy, growth, and belonging. Austin Reaves wasn't just playing for today. He was building something lasting. And in the heart of Los Angeles, that something was just beginning to take shape. As the Lakers' season progressed, Austin Reaves encountered new challenges that tested not only his skills but his mental toughness and leadership. Midway through the year, an unexpected injury sidelined one of the team's key veterans. Suddenly, Reaves found himself thrust into an even greater leadership role, tasked with carrying more responsibility on both ends of the floor. The pressure was immense, but so was his determination. He dedicated extra hours in the gym, refining his shooting mechanics and working on his defensive footwork. Off the court, he led team meetings, encouraging open communication and fostering resilience. His teammates looked to him not just as a scorer or playmaker, but as a steady presence in turbulent times. The media praised his next-level maturity and ability to carry the team through adversity. Analysts highlighted his increased assist-to-turnover ratio and improved defensive metrics as signs of his growth. Yet, what stood out most was how he handled the spotlight. Instead of shying away, Reaves embraced it, using interviews and public appearances to inspire teammates and fans alike. He spoke openly about mental health struggles athletes face, breaking stigma and encouraging dialogue. The Lakers' fortunes mirrored Reaves' evolution. With him leading the charge, the team rallied, clinching crucial victories and securing a playoff spot despite the setbacks. Their chemistry deepened, and they began to be recognized as a formidable contender once again. In the playoffs, Reaves' performances were electric. He averaged career highs in points and assists, delivering clutch plays that kept the Lakers competitive against elite opponents. Though the journey ended short of a championship, the progress was undeniable. For Austin, the season was a powerful affirmation. Leadership isn't just about numbers. It's about heart, resilience, and lifting others when it matters most. As the off-season loomed, Reaves felt a renewed sense of purpose. The trials had forged him into a stronger player in person. The future wasn't just bright, it was blazing. And with every step forward, he was carving out a legacy that would inspire generations to come. Following a season marked by resilience and growth, the spotlight on Austin Reaves only grew brighter. With the Lakers solidifying their status as playoff contenders, fans and analysts alike began to expect even more from their rising star. The pressure was tangible. Every game was scrutinized, every decision analyzed. Reaves, however, welcomed the challenge. "Expectations are a sign of respect," he said during a preseason interview. "They mean people believe in you, and that pushes me to work harder." Throughout training camp, Reaves demonstrated a new level of focus. He expanded his skill set, dedicating hours to developing his mid-range game and improving his court vision. He also worked closely with the coaching staff to understand opposing defenses, aiming to become a more versatile offensive threat. His leadership role deepened as well. Younger players looked to him for guidance on and off the court, while veteran teammates relied on his steady presence during tense moments. Reaves embraced the role, balancing confidence with humility. Media narratives began to frame him as the Lakers' next franchise cornerstone, a player who could carry the torch as the team transitioned from its championship past into a new era. But with the accolades came added scrutiny. Critics questioned whether he could maintain his consistency over a grueling 82-game schedule. Others wondered if he could elevate his play in critical playoff moments. Reaves used the criticism as fuel. "I'm not here to prove them right or wrong," he said. "I'm here to be the best version of myself every single day." As the season kicked off, Reaves responded with standout performances, including career-high scoring games and key assists that ignited the Lakers' offense. His chemistry with teammates blossomed, and the team's overall play reached new heights. Yet, Reaves remained grounded. He understood that the journey was far from over. "Every season is a new challenge," he reminded reporters. "The goal is to keep growing and pushing." With rising expectations and a team hungry for success, Austin Reaves was ready to lead the Lakers into the future, confident, focused, and determined. The season unfolded with intensity, every game a test of endurance, skill, and heart. For Austin Reaves, it became a year of defining moments, both on and off the court, that would shape his legacy. Early in the season, Reaves delivered a spectacular performance against a top-tier rival, scoring a career-high 35 points and leading the Lakers to a crucial victory. The media buzzed, hailing it as his breakout moment, but for Reaves, it was just another step in his ongoing journey. More significant than the stats was how he handled pressure. In close games with the clock winding down, he remained calm and composed, making smart decisions and executing plays with poise. His clutch performances became a hallmark of the season, earning him respect from teammates and opponents alike. Off the court, Reaves continued his advocacy work, speaking at events and participating in community initiatives. His influence extended beyond basketball, inspiring fans with his commitment to positive change. Challenges arose as well. A minor injury threatened to sideline him during a critical stretch, but his determination and disciplined rehab saw him return faster than expected. His resilience became a testament to his character. The Lakers, fueled by Reaves' leadership, pushed deep into the playoffs. Though they faced fierce competition, Reaves' steady hand helped the team overcome adversity and fight for every inch. Each game brought new lessons, new pressures, and new triumphs. And through it all, Reaves remained focused on the bigger picture, not just winning games but building a lasting legacy rooted in dedication, perseverance, and heart. As the season closed, one thing was clear: Austin Reaves was no longer just a player. He was a leader, a role model, and a symbol of hope for the Lakers and their fans. His defining moments had arrived, and the best was yet to come.